Hey everybody, welcome to DRTV. I am your host, Jay Friesen.
And I'm Brian Matson.
And this is the Spindle portion of our program.
The Spindle portion of our show is where Jay and I talk about current events, various hot button cultural issues, the things flooding your Facebook timeline, and we seek to do so through the lens of our Christian faith.
And believe it or not, this is season 5. We've been at it for 5 seasons, Brian.
Absolutely incredible. I think people are thinking we're slackers, Jay, because here we are just coming off of our Christmas break. It's the end of January.
It is, yeah, but we've been doing a lot of planning. We got a lot of cool stuff happening. But first, before we get to the Spindle, how was your Christmas break, buddy?
I had a really great Christmas break.
Did you get everything you wanted for Christmas?
I did. I got happy children, and so that's what I wanted for Christmas. How about you?
I got another child.
You got another child? The stork arrived.
I just had my third. Her name is Elise. She's very adorable. You know, and speaking, I was holding her last night, kind of rocking back and forth, and I thought to myself, I wonder what would happen if I started the show tomorrow like Elise would.
Are you about to surprise me with something?
Well, you know, just
we didn't plan this. So.
No, just the retarded velociraptor.
Did you just seriously call your child retarded?
Well, it's the uncontrollable limb thing.
Okay,
and
so we're gonna
she squeaks like a velociraptor.
So we're going to get protests from the special needs community because you use the R word, and from the paleontology community for insulting velociraptors. Okay, nicely done.
So
well played, sir.
The only way to satisfy a retarded velociraptor.
Let's move on to a more
shoving a booby in her mouth.
See, I was trying to avoid that. I knew that was
this
coming.
Is the dad life. This is what it's all about.
This was coming. We need to move on to a more dignified topic. So let's talk about deflated balls.
Right. Super Bowl is on Sunday, and I just can't seem to talk about this subject without being completely inappropriate, which is a surprise for me.
That happened to Tom Brady.
You know, if he tried to sound dirty, I don't think he could have made it sound any worse.
Yeah, we really should talk about it, though. I mean, I know that we're running the risk of being very inappropriate, but we should talk about it. This is one of the biggest controversies in the history of, well, NFL football, and especially the New England Patriots.
Except every other time they cheated.
Well, there is that. Okay, but evidently the punishment has never yet fit the crime because they have not been deterred.
Right, okay. I think we should talk about it too, but I have an idea on how to keep the whole thing clean.
Clean, okay. We're not going for an M rating here. Gotcha. Well, I figured you and I would just go back and forth for a good 10 minutes making really bad jokes.
Well, I really wanted to, be source of endless puns. But not today.
All right. Well, so keeping it clean is definitely going to be a chore. So let's hear your idea.
Every time I talk about balls being soft or firm or elongated or bursting, I'm going to use the entire word football.
Yes.
Because it's a football. And there was a lot of time in R&D utilized to come up with such an amazing and original name. So I think we should not abbreviate it, but enhance its design properties.
Okay. So we're... Yeah, because there's no other sport that's been around much longer that ever used the term football.
You're right. It's called rugby. Okay.
Well, it sure does change the conversation, doesn't it?
Go Timbers, go!
It's amazing how much it changes the conversation when you say, I like my footballs soft. Okay, doesn't it?
Versus I like my balls soft.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tom Brady, what were you thinking? I mean, he said it the whole time with a straight face, over and over and over again. I never rubbed the balls. Anyway, I would have been laughing if I was a reporter, falling off my chair. But maybe I'm just immature. Okay.
No, I'm sure there was a lot of snickering going on in that press room. But no, have you heard the latest on the story? It seems that a low-level locker room attendant.
Oh yes, of course we're going to throw under the bus the low-level locker room attendant. Right.
Yeah, he took the balls into a private room, probably just before taking them out to the field.
You said you were going to say footballs.
You're right. Yeah. It was a bathroom, though. The private room was a bathroom, and it was only for 90 seconds. I really didn't think it's possible to deflate that many balls in 90 seconds because I forget how many balls there were with such accuracy and precision. 12?
Yeah.
Okay, 12. Ty says 12. So I actually tried it with only 2 balls, though. I deflated 2 balls in the bathroom in 90 seconds.
I thought we were keeping this clean, Jay. Look, I don't see how it's possible for this to be anything but cheating.
Well, you are talking about me or the Patriots?
well, maybe both. Anyway, it's cheating. Look, the Bible says that the heart is desperately wicked. who can know it? I mean, there's unfathomable depths of deceit and wickedness in our hearts. Now, in the aftermath of this entire incident, my wife asked me, who would want to win by cheating? I mean, how do you compartmentalize that effectively, you know? Well, this is a good question that doesn't have any easy answers, but we do know that people do this all the time. We seek fame and fortune by cheating. The obvious example, of course, is Barry Bonds. Prior to his record-breaking season with the San Francisco Giants, he was widely viewed as already one of the greatest baseball players in history. For some mysterious reason, he craved more, and he got more by cheating. Now, many people defend the Patriots by saying it's crazy to think that they would seek Super Bowl glory by cheating. The people of San Francisco said the same thing about Barry. Look, people cheat, and it isn't irrational to suspect it of the New England Patriots. Now, the solution, of course, Jay, to a wicked heart is a religion that gets to the heart. The same God who calls our hearts desperately wicked promises that he can remove our hearts of stone and replace it with hearts of flesh.
Does every example have to be baseball with you?
Yes.
It's football season right now. We're closing out.
No, we're 3 weeks from spring training, dude.
All right, whatever. Well, speaking of desperately wicked and cheating, how about Obama? And he wants to release this new free program I think we should call this free program what it is. Taxpayer funded. There is no such thing as free. But he's touting a program for free community college.
I guess community colleges are funded by leprechauns or something.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
Well, the really offensive thing is that he wants to fund the free college program by rating the average Joe's college funds like
you and me. Yeah. So people like Jay and I, we have what are called 529 plans. These are tax-deferred accounts for our kids' college. So Obama wants to take our kids' money to pay for somebody else's college. I mean, Jay, somebody needs to get on the Bill Belichick plan and get their footballs deflated.
This joke's never going to die, is it?
No, it's brilliant.
Oh, man. Well, Obama's fellow Democrats already did that for him. They tanked the whole raid, the 529 plan. But the bigger picture needs to be kept in mind. Whenever you hear the government offering something free, it means it is very costly and paid for by somebody.
In other words, not free.
Not free at all. Time for the government to abide by its own truth and advertising laws. Don't you think?
I think that's a really nice way to put it, Jay. Unfortunately, they prefer that we pass bills before we know what's in them. That's their preferred mode of operation.
Yeah, ha ha. Of course.
Well, moving on. Well, moving on to another branch of government, the United States Supreme Court has agreed to take up the issue of same-sex marriage. They will settle in a ruling probably early summer, once and for all, whether the 14th Amendment of the Constitution enshrined a right to marry somebody of the same sex.
No, that's good. Maybe after this is all decided, we can stop talking about it every week on DRTV.
Yeah, well, keep on dreaming, Jay. There are some who say that if the court declares same-sex marriage legal, then it will relieve the cultural pressure or conflict on the issue.
Okay. But isn't that what they said about Roe versus Wade?
Exactly. Roe versus Wade did not settle the matter of abortion. It made certain that the conflict about abortion would be a permanent feature of our political landscape. And that's exactly what a ruling in favor of same-sex marriage would do. And I really do think that's what we're looking forward to. Justice Anthony Kennedy is widely believed to be the swing vote. And given his ruling last year in the DOMA case, there'll be little reason to believe he'll uphold the historic definition of marriage. It's Justice Kennedy's country, folks. You only live in it.
You mean Emperor Kennedy?
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you what to do.
Emperor Kennedy.
Well, on this week's Above the Pay Grade, we have an interview with somebody who is an expert on this topic. It's going to be a really great interview. Yeah. Don't want to miss it.
Don't want to miss it. Yes, Ryan Anderson of the Heritage Foundation is the most articulate public spokesman for traditional marriage, and he joins us for a fascinating walk through the issues.
And he really loves beer.
Well, he does like beer. At least his Twitter profile picture, he's got a big pint of beer. It's pretty cool.
It's delicious. In other news, too, entertainment, Clint Eastwood's American Sniper continues to blow up the box office, as we've been reading about in the news. And I think it's a well-deserved success.
American Sniper was truly a terrific movie, but you thought it was even better than Truly Terrific.
I walked out thinking it was probably one of the best movies I have ever seen. Period. I mean, just in terms of what filmmaking is, visual storytelling, this just hit all. I mean, you could hang your hat up and be done with your movie career after that.
It was definitely firing on all cylinders. Well, that's a big accolade from you. I mean, you're a filmmaker. To say this might be the best movie I've ever seen is a huge accolade. I wouldn't go that far, but it was a great film. Now, Michael Moore and Bill Maher didn't think so.
You're right, and we don't need more Maher at all.
We don't need more Maher.
Well, no, they didn't think so. But here's what really frustrates me about that. After
Yes.
watching that movie, if all they can focus on is war and its tactics, such as snipers, they just have to be the most uncompassionate, self-righteous nitwits known to man. Because I don't care what your stance is on war, these men serve their country, and this movie shows what they endure on our behalf. To slander Chris Kyle as a psychopath is simply beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, it is beyond ridiculous. My theory, of course, is that more Maher.
No more Maher.
No more Maher. Nice. Well, that's a good slogan.
That's a new t-shirt.
My theory is that they never saw the movie. There is no way you could come away from that film thinking that this is some kind of a rah America pro-war film.
You know, and it was a compelling and sympathetic portrait of a conflicted warrior, and I cannot see how anyone just fails to be moved by that portrayal.
Yeah. Yeah, I was particularly interested, Jay, in something Bill Maher said.
More Maher?
More Maher, yeah. Bill Maher noted Chris Kyle's professed Christianity and, of course, the obvious cultural influence of Christianity in America. And Maher said that he didn't think Kyle's attitude was, quote, very Christian, close quote. You see, in his book, Chris Kyle wrote these words, quote, "I hate the savages," close quote. And Bill Maher says that isn't a very Christian thing to say.
I'm not sure Bill Maher is a very reliable guide as to what's Christian and what isn't, Mr. Atheist.
Yeah. Did you see him quoting the Pope the other day?
Down with Jesus.
So now you're quoting the Pope, Bill Maher. You didn't quote him on the topic of abortion, I noticed.
No.
Yeah, interesting. Yes, Bill Maher seems to confuse Christianity with the idea that we can never make moral judgments, that everything's gray, there's never anything black and white. Now, I mean, if Maher wants to say that, to use a real-life example, a man who kidnaps a young boy, trots him out into broad daylight, and drives a power drill through his skull in front of his family isn't a savage, then he's welcome to it. But I don't know why anybody would want to associate with Maher's brand of moral relativism. You know, Kyle's worldview was a little bit different, in fact, more biblical. Yeah, at one point in the movie, a fellow soldier asks him, "Why are we here?" And Kyle answers, "Because evil is here." Bill Maher says hating people like that isn't very Christian, but perhaps he should open a Bible. He could look up specifically Psalm 139 sometime. It says, "If only you would slay the wicked, O God. Away from me, you bloodthirsty men. They speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, O Lord, and abhor those who rise up against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies." When it comes to people who purposefully murder innocents, terrorize women and children, hack the heads off of journalists, maintain rape rooms for the girls they fancy, King David's sentiments strike me as exactly right. Some people need killing, and people like Chris Kyle did it for us.
Yep. I recognize all the veterans out there, including my own brother-in-law.
Yeah, I've had veterans in my family. And of course, our soldiers, there's a lot that you could say about this issue of the Bible and hatred and so forth. Obviously, we're told to repay good for evil and that sort of thing. However, as we've talked about many times on this program, Jay, Romans chapter 13 gives the civil government the authority to take life and to punish evildoers. And soldiers on a battlefield, people like Chris Kyle, are actually an extension of that government. And for them to hate the savages, people who put power drills through young boys' heads in broad daylight,
savage act,
and to execute them, are doing an act of justice and righteousness. And to tar them as psychopaths, as Bill Maher did, is a grave disservice.
Yeah, truth. Well, that's our show this week. To follow us on Twitter, please just mention us at DReckoning TV. We're on Facebook, Dead Reckoning TV, and now we have a new Instagram account.
Instagram page. Yep.
Again, Dead Reckoning TV. We post in-studio photos, little thingies here and there. Some of it's good, some of it's great. Yeah. Most of it's great.
How do people find you on Twitter, Jay?
Jay Friesen, at Jay Friesen, Jayfriesen. And you, Brian?
I am at Brian G. Mattson.
Oh, and our producer is now on Twitter, Ty. Ty, what's your Twitter handle?
I don't even know.
He does.
I think it's something like Ty_Rosine.
We will
Rosean.
We will tweet out a follow Ty thing from D-Reckoning on Twitter, so everybody can follow Ty. Not that I'll ever.
He did. All of a sudden, he shows up with that Mike Tyson tattoo. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, that's our show this week. Please stay tuned for Above the Pay Grade with Ryan Anderson of the Heritage Foundation. It's very good to be back. Very good to be with you. Holler at us. Share us with your friends. YouTube, Facebook, all the like. I'm your host, Jay Friesen.
I'm Brian Mattson.
And this is DRTV.